So I grew up kind of nerdy. It just suited me. And so I kept to myself and, watched Florida Gators games because was my jam when I was in middle school and high school. There was and one of the best things that could happen in my life, because I was always beelining it to my class, right? To get my notebook ready, to get my textbook open, to kind of predetermine what we're going to be studying that day. I was really into it. Was to be waylaid by a fight, right? And to, I used to love, hiding behind the locker, watching some guy get hit in the face, and I used to think wow, those guys are really living, It was very exciting, but I always knew that wasn't for me. I don't know how you watch World War II movies, you're probably yeah, I would have killed all the Nazis myself. And I identify with the guy with the Save It from Saving Private Ryan who cries and is debilitated. I'm yep, that's how it would go. Only I get killed. But so anyway, my nemesis was this kid down the street for multiple reasons. He was super evangelical Christian. I was kind of cafeteria Catholic. He liked the Florida State Seminoles. I'm a Gators man. So the only thing we had in common was we were the only two dudes that were the same age on the peninsula that we lived in Jupiter, Florida. And so he was a good basketball player, and by some miracle, I made the basketball team one year. And so we would, as my dad said, you jock together. Go jock with Ed, go jock with him. And we'd shoot around, play one-on-one basketball. And one time I fouled him hard as he was driving to the basket, and he took a swing at me. And he was tall and lumbering, but I was small and dexterous and agile, and he missed. And he started chasing me through the bushes, around the cars, and he tripped and fell, and I went into the garage, pushed the button. As he's running towards me, the door is going down. It's and he's like, "You're a chicken, man! You're a chicken!" Because he wouldn't say worse because he's evangelical Christian. And so it's it's coming down and coming down and coming down, and I'm kind of watching him like this, and he's like, "I'm gonna kick your ass tomorrow." And I was and I just cowered like the guy in Saving Private Ryan, I was, movie came out later. And I was I just felt you're just not a man at all. I'm 14, I suck. But good thing I'm on the path to being valedictorian. Well, anyway, so PE rolls around. It's a couple years later, and we're playing basketball again. And there's this game where you put three boys on either side of the court on the sideline. And Coach Wisenant would blow the whistle, and he's kind of one of these salty Vietnam vet kind of guys. And and then you run to get the ball that's placed in center, right in the center, and then you play. So this goes a few rounds, quick games to three, and anyway, he blows the whistle, and I'm running out there, and I have my hands on the ball, and I can see daylight, and I played basketball the year before on the team, so I'm just looking for a sweet layup, right? But this kid, he punches me in the face and grabs the ball, and Coach Wisenant doesn't notice this at all, and I'm really fucking pissed. So I get up, and I don't know what happened to me, because usually I'm well, he only punched me once, he won't punch me again, it's okay, turn the other cheek, But I was like, motherfucker. So I went after him, and I fouled him even harder than I fouled Ed, into the padded wall behind the basket. And he gets up, and he starts wanting to throw at me, but this time I stand my ground. And he keeps missing me because I'm agile and small and quick. And we get separated, and Mr. Wisenant's kind of sometimes young men, they get a little crazy, so, I'm not going to discipline anybody, but don't do it again. And afterwards, all the tough guys in the school who I never talked to are coming up to me, "You're going to kick Tim's ass after school?" and I was like, is there an appointment for that? And they're like, yeah, we can get him. We've been talking to him. These guys were intermediating a fight. They're like Don King. And so we go, so they say 3 o'clock by the dumpster. I'm like, I thought this was just shit from the movies, but no, this is real. So I do so I show up, and Tim's there, and he's like, "You're a bitch," and I said back to him, I'm like, "I'm not a bitch." And he's like, "I'm going to kick your ass." I'm like, "No, you're not going to kick my ass." And so we're basically whining, at each other. And everyone's like, "Come on, go get him." And this guy pushes Tim in the back, and somebody else pushes me in the back. And I look at him, And he's got his hands in his pockets. And I go, I don't want to kick your ass today. And he goes, I don't want to kick your ass either. And I said, all right then. I go, it's a truce. It's a truce. You know, and you know, all the tough guys are like, man, fucking nerds. You know, like, you know, and that was the end of it. But the thing afterward that was like they saw the way I defended myself with tough guys in gym class, and after that, people were like, I want to see how strong you are. And I became like the nerd wrestling champion, like, or the nerd representative for arm wrestling at lunchtime with the tough guys. So, you know, it's quite a turn.